Maybe you've been in airport security lines waiting for the line to move along to check your bags, take your shoes off, and go through the metal detector. And we notice when we're waiting there that some people are let through the line more quickly. Maybe they have a special pass, or maybe they have a plane to catch, and so they can't afford to wait in line. We might notice other people that somehow get in front of us, and we say it's not fair that they're not waiting like they should. Sometimes we're the ones that are allowed to go ahead because we have a plane that's leaving in just a few minutes. Then it feels great to go in front of everyone else. But otherwise, we say it's not fair that people get through the line faster. And as we look at the gospel today, we see this story where those who are hired early in the day are tempted to say it's not fair that the people later were paid the same amount as us. The ways of the Lord are not the ways of man, it says in the first reading, and that is primarily in the way that God is merciful, the way that he bestows favors on those who do not really deserve it. Last week, Jesus says, do not forgive 7 times, but 70 times 7 times, meaning that's how many times the Lord is willing to forgive us. The Lord never tires of forgiving and bestowing mercy upon us. A danger in our life is comparison. When we start to compare ourselves to other people, it can be very harmful. On the one hand, it can lead to envy, where we don't measure up to other people. We might say, I don't have as much as that person, or my family is not as good as that family, or my marriage or my spouse is not as good as that spouse. On the other hand, it can lead to pride when we measure up higher than the other person. We say, I'm not as bad as that person. But the way to avoid all these things is by means of gratitude, to give thanks to what we have received. In truth and honesty, when it comes to the kingdom of heaven, none of us really deserves such a reward that the Lord gives. And so gratitude helps us to be thankful for what we have received. When we're comparing ourselves to others, we're noticing what we don't have, and we fail to see and give thanks for what we do have. The second message of this gospel is that it's never too late. Think of those people that were waiting all day to be hired, and the temptation might be when 5 o'clock rolls around to say, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be hired. Maybe this is their only pay that day that they need to provide for their family. And so they might have to go home and say there's nothing to eat today. But yet they didn't give up. They waited until 5 o'clock, and they were hired and worked and received a full day's pay. The message that the Lord tells us is it's not too late. It's not too late to turn to the Lord and ask for blessings. Maybe there's things that we needed to say to others to offer forgiveness. It's not too late. The temptation sometimes comes to us to say, well, it's too late now, to hang up the towel, it's over. But the Lord says it's never too late. Even for people who have died, we can still say what we need to them through prayer, through the Lord. The Lord always often comes in the last hour to provide his grace and his blessings. It's never too late when it comes to Jesus and his mercy.